All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the channel. We'll get started here in just a second. I am your host, Tiberius. Thank you for tuning in on this Thursday evening. Let's see what we got going on in the game we can talk about today. I worked on my station. Jesus, just why? So I messaged this guy yesterday, this particular player here, because on the research leaderboard, he put up 850,000 points. And I was like, that's a ridiculous amount of research. So what did you possibly complete? And this is the response that I get. It's like you could have just said, I don't remember, or I don't want to tell you. It's like you're a level 44 player, you're on my leaderboard, and you put up 860,000 points. That is a lot of station research. It's a lot of new research, a lot of maxed researches. Like, to get through to get that many points. Like I finished in second and I had 225,000 points and I thought I was good. I'm like, oh, that should probably win. And then he just blew right by me and I was like, what did you do? But I did not get much of a constructive response, shall we say. So that's always a little annoying. Hey, Olympus, happy St. Patrick's Day to you and to everybody else out there. We've got our luck of the Ferengi event still going on here. We'll take a look at that. We we almost had our first Treasury event going on, but that got kiboshed and pulled back because the vault was broken. So the Lockbox event was supposed to start this morning, and they did announce it. And for about 15 or 20 minutes in the store, you could have bought the key for $5.99 or $4.99, but that event was then pulled. It apparently crashed behind the scenes and kind of imploded. So we'll have to wait a little longer for them to try and test out this new Lockbox Treasury mechanic here. They did send out a nice compensation chest, though, as their apology for the mistake. Triskelion Torpedo projectile now available in the store. Ooh. What does this do? This used to unlock the Triskelion Torpedo projectile, which increases protected cargo by 20%. Okay, a projectile that increases protected cargo. Well, that's an interesting new thing there. I don't know if it's worth $100 for 20% more protected cargo. Well, I guess it would be on all your ships. That's actually fairly useful for that. Um, and then projectiles don't require anything to use, so them throwing in some resources, some crystal and some gas, that's actually not bad. That's kind of more what you're buying here. 3,000 crystal, 2,000, 3,500 crystal, 2,000 gas is pretty good. Say big gun, they mean the storage space. Yeah. Yeah. It's giving you some more storage capacity. It's not max capacity. It's protected capacity, but that's still good. I mean, obviously miners benefit greatly from that, but even warships and things, you know, having a little bit more protected cargo on your Vidar, which would be good for isogen rating and thing or base rating and things like that, um, would certainly help out. Sure, sure. Now we got the new Prime Reduce Repair Cost is also available in the store. This one does cost the 5-star gas. I don't know that it costs 800 though. I feel like they're giving you extra. We'll have to go look at that one in a minute. Then they are throwing in 100 million dilithium. So this was the third new Prime, I believe. Let's go look at our research tree real quick. I believe this is the third new Prime research that they added. I'm going to guess it's here in the station tree. This new Prime. Yeah, Prime Ship Repairs. That's this new one. So it's 471 5-star gas. They're giving you 800. So you'd have 320 extra left. Is that enough to do any of the other ones? Because that would be silly. Because they added the new Valador and the new Stella, which that one takes ore. Stella takes gas. Stella takes 235. If they give you 800, you could do both. If my math is not terrible there. 235. 235. Yeah, you have, if they give you 800 in that pack, you've got 329 left. And that costs less than that. So you could do both and get a second. Maybe that's why it's, the other ones were 50 bucks. Are they still selling them? Still selling Stella Cargo for 50 bucks for another couple of days here. But for 50 bucks you get Stella Cargo, for 100 bucks you get both. That's interesting. Obviously getting ship repairs cheaper is always good. But then getting the Stella Cargo on top of it and all these extra resources, because you don't need any of them. You just need this and the dilithium really to do the research. So you get a little bit of 3-star on top of it, some decent rares, the multi-phasic credits of course, and the speed ups. It's not terrible. That might actually be a pack worth buying. If you can get 2 primes out of it, 2 for the price of 1 basically. You get Prime Stella Cargo and the repair cost 1 for $100. That's not bad. Okay. They did send out the compensation chests. This is what was in the compensation chest. So 5 Quark shards, 5 ROM shards, another 7,500 St. Patrick's Day tokens, plus a loyalty badge, and 1,600 Ultra Recruit tokens. My game lagged when I opened the chest and I got nothing. I had to have someone send me a screenshot so I could submit a ticket and say, hey, I need this. It took them about 20-25 minutes, and then it just sort of showed up. I was in the middle of just doing something else, and all of a sudden it just popped up. Hey, here's your rewards. And I was like, okay. I can now cancel my ticket. Thank you. But 5 ROM shards is great. Quark, okay. Quark's a good officer. Speeds things a little bit. This is somebody unlocking Quark. They didn't have him yet. I think mine's got about 45 or 50 shards, so I'm halfway to tier 2. Extra St. Patrick's tokens, that's not bad, and recruit tokens is good, especially with the various events going on right now. We'll look at that St. Patrick's Day and some of these other events here. So we got another 1 day left of our upgrade, the Treasury. Free to play. I have 7 tiers, and tomorrow morning I should get just enough with the extra 10 to push this up to rank 8, which I'm sure many of these other people will as well in my particular part of the bracket. As long as I can hold on and stay in this top 25, just because that's where the cutoff is, get the 28 Wharf Shards, I will be very happy with that. And then these 200 Epic Luck tokens, certainly nothing to scoff at. My luck box today had 25 Valador blueprints in it, so I'm guessing they decided they want me to build that ship, so they were just, here you go. It was a nice big chunk, get me a little closer, so I was very happy with that. Usually, so far, it's been pretty abysmal, so I guess they decided to show me a little luck of the Irish, right? So we had Hostile Hunt giving out the St. Patrick's Day rewards. This was the one that threw everybody for a loop this morning. We'll get to that in a second. And then the leaderboard is still going on for the Alliance. And then there's an extra day for this leadership boost one, which is still getting officer shards, which also just gives out par steel and ore. But I think this particular leaderboard is kind of going a little crazy here. You know, at 10 points a shard here, this is what, 2,000 epic shards these guys have opened. It's a lot of officer shards. I mean, I can make a big dent in it too if I obviously wanted to move up a little bit, but to move all the way up into the top 10, I need to open a couple hundred officer shards here, and I don't know, are the rewards that much better? Not exactly. Parabellum was today. Kill your capital traders. Easiest way to get this done is to get the heavy traders and do the hull damage to them. 50 points per hull damage. Best crew for that if you're unfamiliar. Beverly Crusher as captain with Mr. Mud. Mud here as an officer, using his down but not out ability, increasing your damage. Mine's tier 4, so it's 350. Even at a lesser tier, if he's only 250 or 300, he's still pretty effective. And then Beverly Crusher as your captain. When fighting hostiles, she restores shield health at the start of each round. So your shields go down from getting hit. Capital traders only shoot once a round. So they hit you, your shields absorb the damage, your shields go down. Mud pumps your damage 350%. Start of the round, your shields go back up because of Beverly. They hit you again, your shields go down. Mud goes up another 350%. And they just keep stacking on top of each other. And then you use a mitigation officer like Talon to lower their damage, or you can use someone like Khan to then make sure that all your hits start critting. So all your attacks in the later rounds of the fight just become criticals. And that should be enough to clear through one of those capital traders and finish up your event. Let's see what else we got going on here. I don't think we have any territory fights or anything tonight. Let's take a look at the old galaxy map, see what's going on here. Where's the... So this is the one that's going on right now. This one looks quiet. This is our ally. They got that pretty well locked up. So nobody really to fight there. We'll see if there's any other... I don't think there's any other fights coming up later that I have to worry too much about. So let's look at the event, the Syndicate Advancement event, because this is the one that threw everybody off at the beginning, myself included. Because you open the event and you look at it and you go, oh my god, Syndicate progression, I need 11,000 Syndicate points. That's absolutely ridiculous. That's like a whole Syndicate level, depending on where you're at. So how am I possibly getting 11,000 points? I panicked, and a lot of other people did. People were jumping on Discord. They were complaining about it. But a lot of us didn't actually bother to click this little thing and realize that one Syndicate XP is worth 5 points. Why they didn't just make it a 1-to-1 ratio, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine on that one. But yeah, so every Syndicate XP is worth 5 points in the event, so you only need 11,000 divided by 5. What's that? 2,200 actual Syndicate XP in order to finish this up. Finishing it up gets you 10 Cath shards, 200, 400. It is a full 800 epic luck tokens, so it will get you a full box bowl. It's also 200 rare Armada directives, which will get you 1 rare Armada for doing that. They also gave us 7,500 Luck of the Ferengi tokens, St. Patrick's Day tokens. They gave us 7,500 just because this morning when they released the event, and then in the thank you chest they gave us another 7,500 there, so that would be 15,000, which would let you do 2 Syndicate XP pulls. That gets you 1,700, so now you're 500 short of completing the event. So if you are high enough level that you can do 250 from your Syndicate XP, pull your Syndicate, um, which is where I'm at right now, then as long as you can do that tomorrow and the next day before it resets at noon, then you're good. If your timers are off and for some reason you don't get an extra one in, then you have to buy a third Syndicate XP pack. But good rewards there. 10 Cath shards should help unlock her. I'm only 2 short, so this will definitely unlock her. And then I can start working on tiering her up a little bit. But another good event, another good way to speed up Syndicate. If you look in the Battle Pass, whoops, hang on, let's just claim this box while we're sitting right here. But like I said, if you look in the Battle Pass, there is some Syndicate XP coming up, which of course is here. No. It's here with the diode, so it's in the top half. But this will be what you'll get tomorrow, and then this one will be after the event ends. So a little timing, a little off on that. Or was it? Is it intentionally like that? It's intentionally like that. Also get these diodes, which probably get you one more treasury tier as well, which also will happen after this event ends. But the treasury's not working right. The main parts of it are working right. The extra bonuses to, mining and cargo and stuff, those parts are working fine. Mining speed, protected cargo, cargo capacity, all working as intended. So kudos to them for getting that part right. It's the bonus part that's not working right, this little lockbox mechanic. So that's what we want to hope they can get fixed and get working right. But if you go into the event store, so in addition to our Dabo and our Epic Luck token chest, this is what had I hit this one for the Valador this morning. I was very excited about that. It's a ship I don't have. I built the Kelvin. I was saving my Romulan credits because I was hoping I'd be able to progress fairly quickly enough that, by the time I can just keep moving through and get to 46 for a Pilum. Kind of slowing down a little bit, kind of a little bit of a paywall, kind of not wanting to spend on the game right now. So maybe I'll circle back and build a Valador. I'm up to about 30 blueprints for that. I can get more from the away team store. Won't have to use too many faction credits that way, so then I'll still have plenty in reserve to start building toward that Pilum. And then from doing all of my faction rep grinding, where I'm killing Klingons to boost my Romulan and Federation rep, I've got about 35 or so Katinga blueprints now, so getting closer to that ship as well. So I might end up having all the 42s before all is said and done. But if I keep getting blueprints in these luck token chests, that might get a little faster. But the St. Patrick's Day ones, on the other hand, they gave us a few different options here. So you have Shards of Officers available. Quark is 6,000. Fess and Arik are 3,000 apiece for shards. You're limited to the number of them you can get. Probably going to have to pick up a couple of these because I still haven't unlocked Arik. I'm going to unlock Cath. I already tiered up Fess, and I still don't have Arik. Hey, Broadside, thanks for joining. How much are G4 uncommon 42s in the away team store? I believe it's $39.50. We'll go take a look. Away teams. Kelvin's right here. $39.50 for one blueprint. It gets exponentially higher for the 2 and the 3, but if you just plan it out right, you can just keep cashing one a day in for a while. Because like this 3 chest pull right here, which is $19,750, is actually that same amount that gets you 3 shards. If you spaced it out and did it 5 times, you could get 5 with that same amount. So if you space them out, it'll work out a little bit better for you if you plan ahead as you're leading up to 42, or as you're getting the shipyard and stuff upgraded and going through all the hoops you have to. Yeah, kind of just space them out, do the one at a time. Yeah, the 3 chest pulls is pretty steep cost. Even the 2 chest is a little bit. This is like 2.5 times the price. Yeah, that math sounds right. Um, so yeah, so 39.50 for one blueprint for the 42s is not bad at all. And then the faction miners are 36.50. 4-star faction miners not entirely worth the investment from everything I've heard and everyone I've talked to about this. The 4-star faction miners really just they suck up a lot of resources you'd want to invest on other ships. They have better warp range, which is great, but the cargo capacity on them takes tier 6, tier 7 before it's going to be better than your G3 faction miner that you've probably moved up significantly. So really, all you're doing is for the warp range, but it's a big investment. Let's go to STFC Space real quick. Let's go here. Let's look at it real quick, because now I'm just curious. We'll look at the mature here real quick. If I wanted to take this up to like just a tier 4, so lots of survey parts, 6,500 uncommon gas. You need this a lot for building for all your buildings. All your research center and all the buildings surrounding it use a lot of uncommon gas, so that will certainly slow you down. Um, and then crystal is what you need for all of your defense platforms. No, sorry, all of your ship docks. You need large amounts of crystal. So devoting the resources to this, probably not worth it. And then you're looking at, by tier 4, you're looking at a protected, cargo bay. That's not really all that special. You get warp range of 100, which is awesome. Um, but you've got a very limited cargo capacity there. So unless you happen to be, you can just do like the first 2 tiers, because the base warp range right out of the box is 80. It starts at 75 just for building it, and then the first time you tier it up, you're up to 80 already. Plus, if you have the research done, the warp particle research that you can do at 42, then this is going to boost even further. And then you'll get to 90 or so, 95, depending on what level you're at. But your cargo capacity is going to be pretty small. So unless you happen to be in a protected space or something where you can't get hit, you're probably going to be going back and forth a lot with your G4s. So they're not overly worth the investment to spend faction credits or whatnot getting these. Plus, you also tend to get a good chunk of these again from when you're doing your hostile grinding. Um, I think I've got from killing Klingons in the 45 plus level 45 and higher Klingons to grind my rep. I'm up to 30 something now of those as well. But sure, I've got 32. Haven't bought one of them. Haven't bought any of them. This is strictly 34 Katingas, 32 Bachor. That's simply from killing things level 45 and higher. So when you're doing your rep grinding, you'll probably get those as well. So not really worth the away team credits for the faction miners. Oh, thanks, Gan. 44.50 for the G4 epics. So G4 epic ships. Wait, G4 epics or the G4 rares are 44.50. The epics. So if you're trying to get your Enterprise D, no, Enterprise A, the Tribune. Yeah. Okay, so those are 44.50. What, if you don't mind, what's like the Coronar and stuff? I'm guessing it's somewhere in between. What are those, like 4,200? And thank you for looking this up for me, by the way, Gannon. 4150. Oh, right, because they can't make anything an even number ever, because then, you could always, they always have to make everything an odd number, so you always come up just a little short and need like one more chest pull or one more day in order to get it. Okay, so 4150 and then 4450. Okay, so it's progressing. So yeah, if you, I mean, obviously for the Tribune and stuff, you need what 650 blueprints. So obviously every little bit you can get out of away team credits will certainly help with that. And then yes, spacing them out, doing that one a day, will certainly save you credits as well. Broadside, you're only level 29 at the moment, so you're saving up for them. You've got 30,000 away team credits. If you're only Ops 29, you're probably going to end up getting your G3 Epic first with your away team credits and faction credits. You'll probably get, your Enterprise blueprints or whatever at 3650. Save yourself some time or whatever ship you go for, whether it's an Enterprise or an Augur or a D4. But yeah, definitely. I mean, it's another way to get ships and blueprints, and another way to, uh, source things in the game, which I like. I like having multiple paths to get things, um, and I feel like a lot of other players feel the same way. So we got a little time here. Let's finish that guy up. Let's go. Let's go kill some Klingons for a minute. Let's see if there's any. I know Tygo. Let's see what's going on in Kronos right now. Everybody was doing their capital traders earlier, I'm hoping, so maybe there's probably just all heavies in here. Heavies. Yeah, it's just all heavies. So we'll go to TIG. Much more faction credit efficient to use only the away team credits on those higher ships. Yeah, obviously you're going to need the faction credits for a variety of things, most importantly promoting officers. Some of the officers really take big chunks of credits. A lot of your epic officers, to get them, it's like 13,000 to go to tier 4, and then the final tier 5 is over 20,000 credits. So they really take up big chunks of that. Plus, you need to, keep getting the recruit packs and things to get the officer shards, to get the transporter patterns, um, things of that nature. So having them to spend on ship blueprints is not always efficient and effective. So now having an alternate path with the away team store is a really good positive for the game. It was a good change they made. When they make a good change, I give them a high five for it. When they make a bad change or screw something up, I call them out on that too. So what are we at? 154 million to go, and then we are a champion. And then I can start working on. No, I can't start working on my Tribune. I'll get my one Tribune for my loyalty pack, and that'll be my one, and I'll be like, woohoo! I've got one. But this is the Ops level 50 ship that I will not be building anytime. My goal was by the end of the year was to have a Pilum. I think I'm on a pretty good pace for that. I'm halfway through 43. I'm hitting the big resource wall now that, I can spend to accelerate, but I'm not spending right now really, so not happening. But we do have a bonus refinery. That was the other thing I noticed. This just popped up a few minutes ago. We've got a bonus refinery coming up for this weekend. So get out, do your mining, stock up on your resources so you can do multi-chest pull, because you are guaranteed no commons. And looks like this will be a 2-day event, so you should be able to get 4, possibly 5, depending on your sleep schedule. Refines in, that'll be strictly uncommon and rares. Definitely want to be able to hit multiple chest pulls on these. Rev Deuce has been pushing for them to do this quarterly, and here we are, towards the end of March, getting our first of the year. So awesome news, awesome bonus refinery. Start stocking up on your resources while you can. I got a decent amount of 3-star here. I'm refining it now, 4-star as well, or mining it now, shall we say. So stocking up on that kind of stuff. That was the other big thing I did want to point out in tonight's stream. And then while we're looking around at some stuff, so we have the St. Patrick's Day thing, where you do have the officer shards. The other things, you can get a frame, because why not? Everybody likes a frame, right? What's it even cost? 30,000. You want to spend everything you got, here's your frame. It's like, no, I think I'd rather complete some of the other events and actually get something that helps me in the game. Thank you very much. You can get Fuchsia blueprints if you don't have your Fuchsia yet. 1,500 a piece. So if you get 30,000, that would get you about, what, 20 blueprints? Get you part of the way. You can get regular Devore blueprints. The Syndicate XP, which is what people seem to have been cashing it in so far on in order to complete the event. And then you've got Tetrions and Mycelium. I know at least one guy will be cashing in probably for this 20,000 because he uses Mycelium like it's sugar. Tetrions I never really understood. I mean, can you really do that much cloaking that you need to spend resources on Tetrion particles like that? Maybe if you've got a really big rating TC event coming up or something, sure, but for the most part, it just seems like something that's put there for like 1% of the population to use. So I'm sure most people will do Syndicate XP because this is pretty good value and it will help advance you pretty far. Or you'll get particular officer shards if you got hosed on the Dabo wheel. I'm waiting to get till this is almost done expiring, so I figure out how many Arak shards I need because I did get 2 today out of the Dabo wheel. So now I'm down to 5. And I'm just hoping that maybe I can squeeze out a couple more and then get more Syndicate XP instead. But in the meantime, we'll get some kills going here in Taiga Core. Yeah, the Treasury thing was weird today. People were excited about the lockbox and finding out finally like what type of content would be in it, and then obviously for it to crash was pretty disappointing. But then they gave us out that compensation chest with 5 ROM and 5 Quark shards in it, and suddenly it was like, this is probably better than what I would have gotten in the Treasury thing, and I didn't have to pay for it. So it's almost like you kind of like it when they screw up every once in a while, because the compensation rewards are sometimes better than what they were going to try and sell you. But it was going to be curious just to see what exactly was in it, just so we could understand the mechanic a little bit, and just see kind of what they were offering for at least for the first couple trial runs. But I'm sure we'll get there in a week or two. They'll try again, just like they always do. Like they always try and I think they've tried 3 or 4 times now to get Latinum spending during events right, and haven't quite been able to do that yet. So I'm sure they'll keep trying with that, and they'll keep trying with the Treasury, and we'll just go with the flow and roll with the punches. Can't quite get us, not to a 7-day chest yet. 2 more days to go. 2 more days to go. Where are we at? Here. PvP Ultra Recruit chests? No, thank you. The only PvP officer in it is Worf, really. Yeah, I mean, the TOS guys are kind of PvP based, but a lot of these guys are not. It was a last minute pivot by Scopely. As I said on Tuesday night, when they added Worf and Sela, they should have added Gowron, Martok, and Bael in there as well, because there's no way to source those officers, and if you put them in as ways to sort of counter, Marcus and Charvanek and Kang, you kind of need to get people an opportunity to get them. You know, you give me this officer that increases your shield deflection, so that way you don't have to worry about Marcus and his 800 or 1600% shield penetration. But you didn't give me enough ways to source them, so my guy's only 200 or 500. Not really doing a whole lot there. Again, because they wanted you to buy them. But now that that event is over, this would have been a golden opportunity to put him in that pack and start, spreading out a few shards. I'm sure you would have seen more people actually spending on this pack, because there are plenty of ways to get Worf shards. You're giving out Worf shards in the other event. Yeah, if they had Martok in there, you would have spent something on it. Absolutely. But the only officer really that they added to it that you couldn't get any other way, was Worf and Sela. And Sela's not that great, and Worf's the guy they just keep putting everywhere because everybody, talks about him and wants him for things. You can get him from the amalgam pulls. They're giving him out as a reward for, is it this one? Upgrading the Treasury. They're giving you a whole bunch of Worf shards. So if I want Worf shards, I would just do this instead of getting Ultra recruits and trying to get Worf shards that way. But if you had thrown Martok and Gowron and Bael, who was really, Bael got the short change because she came in the third part of the arc and wasn't even available in the store to buy extra shards for. You either had to just buy her or take the, okay, I got just enough through the event to unlock her, but not tier her up. So she kind of got the short end of it, and it's just kind of, been a waste of an officer slot for right now. But again, they don't ask me my opinion. Otherwise, I would tell them these things. I would tell them how to make their game better. I would tell them how to sell more stuff so they make more money. If only they would ask. And then this leadership boost event is just ore. So they're not even giving, you have to get all the officers shards for that. Oh, what's our daily event right now? I didn't look. Oh, it's just the part 2 of the station. It's the station leaderboard. And these I can't ever do good in because right now I have nothing left I can afford to upgrade. All your buildings around your research center, with the exception of one. I mean, these all take big chunks of gas. Gas. Hey, more gas. And more gas. And this one takes crystal. A lot of crystal. But it makes your research 5% more efficient. Yeah, so you got to do the efficiency of researches to get these costs of these buildings down. So then you can do them to get the cost of your other stuff down. So then you can circle back a third time around and actually upgrade the thing that you wanted to upgrade to begin with. That's what you have to look forward towards, kids. Once you get into the 40s, everything increases exponentially. They assume if you've committed yourself to the game this much, that you've either spent to get here or you're just so time invested that you're going to start spending some money to pick up some upgrades so you can keep progressing. Certainly takes a lot of willpower, or just hiding the credit card. other terrible thing they have going on in the multi-phasic store right now is the next generation recruit special, which again better because it's got Charvanek and Marcus and Kang in it, good PvP officers. This is actually probably a slightly well, these are probably the best PvP officers right here. Um, and then it's got a lot of the similar officers that are in that same other crappy pack with your burning officers, your mining officers, and then just instead of your TOS guys, you've got your next generation guys, some of which are terrible, and the rest of them are pretty much only good. These three are good for armadas, but most importantly, they left out data, and that's the disappointment in that pack. Again, still no viable way to get data shards. Occasionally, he shows up in an away team mission. Mine reset in 15 minutes. Okay. Occasionally you'll get a mission for him, but it's one of the muds. I think it's actually Discovery Mud, Harry Mud, Dwight Mud, we'll call him, from The Office, that has the right skills to sort of line up to try and get you data shards. The mission does not show up very often. It's a longer one when it does, and it does require very specific officer abilities, or away team traits rather, to get him. I'm really still hoping, still trying to be optimistic here, that in about a month or so, they will probably do their annual update to the transporter patterns. I feel like it was around April or May last year when they did their adjustment, and they added a couple of officers for us, and we got Spock, we got Giorgio, and we got Harry Mudd. And these guys cost 1,100. They added Eurydice and the other Mud too, right? They added these five. Yeah, they added these five officers. So we got a couple of Eclipse guys who are available in the Rogue faction store as well, and then Giorgio and TOS Spock also giving new ways to source these officers. I'm hoping, April or May we'll get another annual update. Hopefully they'll change the price on these guys to 1,000 because now they're older. So then they sort of would be in line with everybody else that's already here. And then we'll get a couple of new officers that we haven't, from more recent arcs, where maybe you'll get Sela, probably, and unfortunately it will probably be Picard, because they'll want to have him in here with Pike, but it'd be really nice if Data was in here, so then everybody could have a chance and get data shards. But like I said, it'll probably be Picard. Lead expedition to get away team credits. Requires impulsive, intimidating, minor, and survivor. Yeah. Nero's your guy for that one. He's got 2 of the traits on that, so you just kind of would want to upgrade him those tiers. Yeah, I don't have one handy, but and then you got a better chance of getting bigger chunks of away team credits with him if that's what you're kind of pushing towards. But there's better officers. There's other officers who give you additional rewards, or more consistent rewards that you can, because away team shards are good, but it's really just either a little bit of faction rep or ship blueprints, or some of these other stuff. Like obviously these guys give you, you're looking at, these aren't a big important. Faction credits are good. Epic officer shards are pretty good. Some of them have Latinum, which has become less of an urgency now that you have 2 different refineries with the Devore. They should add data to the Augment store, not for any thematic reason, but just for the meme of spending data on data. I like that, Olympus. That's hilarious. that is that is funny. Yeah, it does make thematic sense to put him there, but I can see why that would be great. Yeah, it'd be nice if they moved him. I don't think they will. They'll probably put one of the Borg officers too. Uh, one of the epic Borg mining officers will probably be another addition to the away team store. I don't know which one they'll pick. Whichever one I guess they feel people don't have enough of or got less of a chance of. Whether it's crystal ore or gas. That would be my guess. I mean, they could put all three of them in there and then, Data and Sela or whatever, or Picard and Sela. But I don't know that they'll do that. More likely, what we'll see, and this is again me just my prediction, just my prediction. So we know our Ferengi arc ends this month. I don't know why, but I don't see them starting Deep Space Nine in April. I see them starting Deep Space Nine in May, which means we need a one-off month, something for April. Historically, going back when I started playing the game 2 years ago in April, they were running a Borg event in April, and I feel like they may have brought one back and done it last year as well. So my theory is that next month will be a Borg event, which will probably give you an opportunity to get those Borg officers that I was just talking about. So maybe it'll be less urgent to put them in the transporter patterns. Give people a month of Borg, perhaps a redesigned Borg arc, some upgraded Borg stuff to do, because the old Borg stuff is kind of dull, and then give people an opportunity to source those other Borg officers. That's my theory, and then we'll roll into Deep Space Nine in May. Gan, that's don't even joke about that, man. April equals Doomsday Worms is just April Fools. April Fools to you indeed, sir. Uh, I know that they did give us those three warp tokens, right? Everybody got nervous thinking that a worm event was coming back, but I feel like enough people have said how much they hate these worm events that I don't imagine that they'll bring it back. I do like, however, I'm at the point, thankfully, I've been able to upgrade my ships enough and get to the point that when they do run the battle pass, your elite points, it's like, oh, go kill some worms. I really only have to kill like two level 44 worms or 45s, and then I'm done. So it's, just send my ship out there. Who cares how much damage I really take? Because it's just the event's over in like 2 minutes, and then I don't have to deal with worms the rest of the day. Um, but those worm armadas and whatnot, those were silly. I did not enjoy doing those at all. I know a lot of people did not enjoy doing them either. The power curve on them was kind of tricky to figure out. Plus, the timers were really short, so that didn't help either in terms of people starting stuff all over the place and yeah, flying all the way back out there and running to different sides of the system. So another worm event would not be ideal. Doesn't mean they won't do it. Just means I'm sure a lot of people would just be like, "Oh God, you just came off this dud of an arc with these Ferengi, and now we're getting worms." What's the name of your store? I got worms. That's what we're gonna call it. Just keep saving our money for the worm store. Broadside, you're heavy into getting Fed credits, getting ROM credits. Yeah, those are guys. Those ones are pretty good. Carol's a great officer to upgrade for those traits. Her science and physics kind of overlap into a number of different researches that are away team traits that really help. Carol's a very key officer for that. Nero's not bad. It's hard at the lower levels because your officer pool is a little more limited in terms of what officers you need for ships. So, like, Nero might be really great for mining, for that, intimidation one to give you the away team credits and whatnot. But is Nero an officer you can afford to have on an away team for 2 days? So that's uh, that's always the challenging part at the lower levels as well. It's, you want to upgrade officers that have the right traits, but you also need to upgrade people that you can afford to live without for 24, 48, or even 72 hours in some cases. Sometimes you find yourself just saying, you know what, as much as I would like the critical, sometimes it's just, putting any random schmoes out there just so you at least get the base reward, get the away team credits if that's the case, so you can do the research, because there's a lot of good research in that away team tree. There's a lot of good research out there. I mean, you've got stuff that boosts warp speed. You've got stuff that boosts damage to hostiles. You've got stuff that boosts cargo capacity, that boosts mining, that boosts your shield health, that boosts your officer stats. Again, more protecting for your miners. You're boosting your reputation gain. Then as you get further and further in here, now you're boosting your piercing and dodge and shield deflection, your mitigation stuff in this section. And then out here, you're getting more cargo stuff, more armada boosts. This is building and research speed. And then you get into your G4 stuff with your G4 mining, and then eventually your critical hit damage. And then, as you get higher and higher, this goes even further. But getting those away team credits for the research is a pretty good thing too. Like I said, lots of good boosts in there. Good thing to try and build up on as well as early as you can. Get the additional slots, and even if you just have to use a bunch of green officers and just take the 80-90% chance of getting the first reward, maybe a 5% chance of hitting a critical, just do it. What do we got coming up? Do we have another auction event this weekend? I think that's on the old ROM board. Today's the 17th, right? So what do we got? Sneaking up on faction hostiles, destroying them while cloaking, or use combat consumables. So, okay, so we're using exocomps or cloaking tomorrow. And then you've got this, destroying swarm clusters and doomsday worms. There you go, Gand. That right here, man. Tomorrow, cross-server leaderboard. Destroy all the worms you want, brother. We don't need a special month-long event for it. It's right here. It's a weekend event. Saturday and Sunday, 2-day leaderboard. Kill all the worms you want. And then recruit ROM, right? Yeah, we've got a recruit ROM meta this weekend again. More ROM shards available. Mining for 2 days. Saturday and Sunday. Monday will be a swarm battle, so more swarms. Sunday will be a hostile hunt. Sunday and Monday will be another Armada event, so probably another, set an epic, start an epic and a rare, and then get in a few others, or it's going to be an epic and 2 rares to complete it yourself. And then there'll also be a solo leaderboard based on spending materials. See if they fix the Latinum this time around. See if they fix the Latinum. if that actually works. You know, third time's the charm, fourth time's the charm. I forget what number we're up to on this one, but we got lucky charms because it's St. Patrick's Day, right? So I mean, it'd be a four-leaf clover of starting of spending latinum on upgrades to get those ROM shards. But always a good idea as well to try and save your uncommon resources for. They always have these leaderboard auctions every month. Every arc, there's at least one, if not two, where you have to spend resources for that. So while it sucks when you have the resources and you want to upgrade a ship or a building or something like that, if you really want to maximize your rewards, the best way to do it is just to wait. I can probably do a few upgrades, like right now, I can probably upgrade this Enterprise. It's telling me the arrow. It's like, you've got enough. You could do this. What do I need? 1600? Yeah, I could do both of these actually, and tier this ship up if I wanted to, and take it to tier 5. But we've got a big leaderboard event coming up, so I will save those upgrades for that. Not going to win the leaderboard, but at least it'll put me on it somewhere. And you get some extra benefit out of it. Usually the leaderboard has something good. This case it's ROM, who's a pretty strong base officer. Obviously, we talked about Rialta Burn coming back thanks to ROM. So he'll certainly make people start shielding more, I think, and we'll go from there with that and see how that adjusts the economy. But some people just don't learn. They leave their shields down regardless, or they just, you know what? If they steal my stuff, they steal my stuff. Some people are just cocky and they think that, nobody's going to mess with me. I'm in my alliance territory. It's not worth it for people to keep flying back and forth. If you have enough stuff, it is. I do quite a bit of long distance raiding when people have dilithium. I'll send ships for hours, flying a minute and a half each way to take big chunks of resources if they have lots of dilithium. Absolutely. Look at this. I got 7 billion par steel. I got 16 million dilithium. You got a couple 100 million dilithium? I'll farm your base all night. Looks like we got two bug ships now. This one won't let me attack, and then this one's the. Nope. This one's just the usual floater. Okay, he just moved. Oh, did it change? Is it 8 o'clock? It is 8:02. All right. I got new away team missions. Let's see what we got instead. See if we got anything better now. Hey, we got first contact and undercover mission. Okay, so here's a good epic one. What traits do we need for this? Astronomer, explorer, charismatic, and captain. This is Giorgio. This is Giorgio's mission, is really what this is. She's got all three of those traits. But, again, she's a great burning officer. She's very good for PvP for that aspect of it. And it's a 3-day mission. You know, can I afford to send Giorgio out for 3 days? Probably not. What else we got here? Charismatic's got a few people. Riker, TOS Kirk, Eurydice has charismatic, so I can at least throw her on there. Um, that one I did level up with her because her other mission was a great way to get Latinum, and that required 2 of her abilities. Charismatic and Traitor is the mission that requires her and gets a great deal of Latinum. Whoops, too far. So I did spend on her, but now I'm not spending additionally on her because that trader ability is really only for that Latinum mission, and well, there's enough other ways right now with the 2 Devore missions or the 2 Devore daily pulls to get Latinum. Captains, we've got Nero, we've got Kirk. Astronomer, I think, is only Giorgio. She's the only one in the game currently. And Explorer is pretty limited again, just Giorgio and DuPont. So we're going to take our chances with the 28% and just kind of roll the dice on this one because I don't want to tie her up. Who's the other one? I could do TOS Kirk. Kind of use him too, especially for territory fights, and you know, you never know what's going on with the schedule there. You know, weekends there's always something going on. We're going to have to defend one of our territories this Saturday, so we'll probably just stick with that and just load up on health for the last 2 spots. What do we got with health? We got Vemit and 3 days. I think I'm okay on data for 3 days. If not, I can get by without him. So we're at 98%. Don't want to use Khan. I don't want to use Carol. And everybody else is currently otherwise occupied. All right, so we'll go with those 3 officers. We'll cross our fingers we don't get burned by this 98%. I hate sending people out for long missions when it's not 100 or greater. But I don't know that I have much choice right now unless I want to speed something up. Maybe I'll just do that. Maybe we'll speed up this mission that McCoy's on. It's only got 7 hours, right? Okay, there we go. Let's do that. I'll feel a little better about this. Oh, it was just him. It must have been one of those crappy junk ones. Okay. So, we said we were using Eurydice. And then we were going to use Bones and Vemit. And that'll get me over 100%. Okay, I feel better now. That was going to bother me. And then my new mission here, oh, this is a G4. Another one that requires G4 health. See, there, good thing I didn't do engineers. I could get Geordie. Any of these guys would also be fine, but I'd have to unlock it. And then Carol, I've unlocked scientist and physicist. She's got a lot of health as well, so this is a pretty high success one there. I don't know that Geordie's adding a whole lot, but again, we're looking at health, and I just put a bunch of health officers out there. All right, we'll take our chances with that one because it's only a day. I feel pretty good about that. And then the last, we got our undercover mission. This is an attack one. Charismatic. We just see charismatic and deceptive. So this is another one that Eurydice would be good on. And then resourceful and spy. Well, resourceful is Burnham. She doesn't do a whole lot for me otherwise, except for speed cruise. Spies. Yeah, Lennar. Okay, you're a spy. There we go. So then I just need a whole bunch of attack. Barrett has the highest attack. That's only 94. You might get cut. You're going to get cut. We're going to put Az in your place to put that over 100. It's only a small couple percent, so we will take our chances on that one as well. But I think that's going to do it for tonight's stream. I do want to thank you guys for tuning in. I've enjoyed chatting with all of you about the game, about everything that's going on. Had some good laughs. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure and join the live streams to participate in all of our lively discussions and conversations. I stream Tuesday and Thursday evenings, Eastern Standard Time, and Sunday afternoon, Sunday at noon when we do the server reset and Swarm Sunday starts. I'm usually online around then, so feel free to jump in the channel, have join the discussion, and continue to like, follow, and subscribe and all that fun stuff on YouTube and Twitch. I hit affiliate on Twitch. Thank you for all your support. I appreciate it, and see you around the galaxy.